So how do you handle those bully situations I discussed in the last video? I'm going to show you a trick coming up right after this. Good afternoon, this is Lucky Lynx. So I'm going to show you a little trick with an oracle deck, and if you don't read cards or if you don't read an oracle, you can get someone to do this for you who does, so you can get a reading from someone who does know how to do it, and tell them this is what you want to do. What you're going to do is you're going to say, hey, this is one of those beginning of the day kind of things again. Beginning of the day, if you find yourself in a situation where you're being bullied or you're being dominated by someone else, especially if you know you're going into a situation where that person does that to you, we're going to do two things. First, you're going to say, what archetype can I maintain today that will help me to get through this successfully? And the second one is, what skill should I employ? Okay, so for this, I'm using two separate decks. I'm actually using an archetype deck, and then I'm using a tarot deck. Now, you could also take out. You don't have to split it up the way I did. I got fancy tools, so I use fancy things. You could use the tarot to tell you what archetype, or whatever oracle deck you've got. These are all archetypes, so mix and match. Use your intuition. Decide how it is you want to. You can even use dice and numbers. What archetypal number would be good for me to do? You could use one for 10. I have a 10-sided dice here, so I got 10-sided dice here somewhere. Anyway, so you could. Here, we got dice, right? So 9. Okay, so I rolled a 5 and a 4, so that would be 9. So the archetype of completion, realizing that I complete, I'm whole, or maybe I need to end this relationship with this person. So that could be how you do it. But I'm going to show you. So so let's say beginning of the day, I'm going into work and I know that there's this person at work who always bullies or dominates or whatever. And I roll the 9, it's like maybe it's time I find a new situation, or maybe it's time I end a relationship with that person, or maybe it's the time I'm final about it and say, no, I'm drawing my boundaries. So I'm going to use archetypes, and then I'm going to use skills here. So that would be the archetype, the 9, and then I say, well, what skill? Okay, I got a 1. Independence. And how did I choose whether to use 1 or 2? I used my intuition. So, So completion, I got to go out on my own. So this situation is actually teaching me that I no longer belong in these environments. It's time for me to go out on my own, do my own thing, be my own boss. Okay, that's one way you could do it, using numbers, that archetypes of numbers. Now I'm going to use, first point of the day, what could I do today? What archetype will help me get through this? Now only do this if you're in this situation. Don't do it to invoke this situation, okay? So, what archetype could I use, or could I maintain, or could I be to get me through this? Liberator, okay? So, keep in mind that I'm going to be liberating myself today from beliefs that no longer serve me. So this idea that I have to let people stomp on me, or I have to be a good person, or I can't rock the boat, whatever it is, that's the archetype. Okay, so that's what I'm going in, set as today. And then what skills, I'm using the tarot deck, what skills, I'm going to use 3 cards for that. What skills will help me do that I possess will help me do that. All right, so I've got temperance. Okay, so patience is the first thing. Patience and temperance, and I've got, and I knew it wasn't. I don't know what it is about this deck. I can shuffle them all, and I'm going to get, every single time I get mostly court cards. So this one is the King of Wands, or the King of Swords. All right, so patience, self-control of my mind and the tricks that I've learned about self-control of my mind, and strength, inner strength, and not being afraid to say back off. So this would say patiently and with control, be willing to say back off. I'm not your punching bag, or I'm not here to serve as your example for whatever it is you're trying to make me an example of. So that's how you do it. What's the archetype to maintain? What 3 skills do you have? And then employ it. Take your time with it. Be calm as you can. And experiment with this technique. And then let's say that you're in another situation. Maybe you're dealing with your parent, right? Okay, so let's say your mother. You always get in a situation where your mother dominates the situation, or okay, so boom. What's the archetype? The child orphan. Okay, I'm not afraid to be on my own if I have to be. And it allows me independence. I can be independent of my parent without having to have my parent, my mother, tell me what it is I need to do. And then what 3 skills? Which, and the other side of it was, you have to be willing to face your fear of being parentless. That someone's telling you what to do and how to do it. So you have to be willing to be responsible for your own actions and your own outcomes. And then what 3 skills? 2 of Swords. 4 coins. Oh, I see this. 4 cups. So in this case, it might be a willingness to be okay with the fact that whatever resources the parents have, you will not be concerned that that's it. Now, a lot of people put themselves in this situation. I've seen this with clients all the time. They're in a situation where they allow their parents to overstep boundaries because their parents provide resources, and they're like, well, if I draw these boundaries, my parents are going to cut me off or not. That's where you go, no, I'm at peace with the fact that I don't need their resources. I can be independent and maintain my own. Which takes a lot of courage, but that's what's recommended by the Oracle. So that's how you do it. I am Lucky Lynx, as always, wishing you success and good fortune in all that you do. Hey, if you would like to get a reading from me, hey, if you want me to do this with you, we can do this. 779-302-8009 or conjurehope@gmail.com. And if you would like to learn how to read the tarot, these are the kinds of skills I teach in tarot reading class. I have an intermediate to advanced class, and I have a basic class. I can show you all sorts of things in those classes. If you'd like to learn how to read the Lenormand cards, if you'd like to learn how to read Mexican Loteria cards, if you would like to learn how to read a crystal ball, or in this case a crystal pillar, or if you'd like to learn how to read playing cards, I have a class for each one of those. Contact me, 779-302-8009 or conjurehope@gmail.com. And if you would like for me to do your kill core, where I draw up a map of your life and see what's going on in the map of the life, use Tibetan divination to figure out what's happening, and then we can actually adjust things, make things come your way, or remove obstacles, whatever it is. There's Tibetan processes I employ to make shifts in what's going on in your life. We can do that as well, 779-302-8009 or conjurehope@gmail.com. Those of you who've donated, thank you so much for donating. I really appreciate it. If you like these videos and they're giving you information, making you think, and they're helping you, and you would like to donate to help keep them coming, I'm going to put my PayPal, my Venmo in the spot below. Remember, try this beginning of the day before you get started, before you walk into the day and walk into that situation. Set yourself up for success by looking at what will take you through the day with success and what will give you what you need.